Welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Wednesday, February 3. So glad you could join us. Our top story, hundreds of student volunteers hit the streets today as Operation Seek and Save got underway. The data gathering exercise comes at the start of the 2-week national pause to curb the spread of COVID-19. The students are gathering information on the coronavirus and dengue fever, which will be used by the Ministry of Health to develop initiatives to bolster the national response to the two health fights. Coordinator of the project, Dr. Dion Greenidge, who serves as Program Coordinator of the Cave Hill campus of the University of the West Indies, MSc in Management, assured residents have no reason to fear Operation Seek and Save.
Number one, our students have been trained in relation, we have trained them. All the students would have completed what we call our CAT training, and then which will emphasize the ethical aspect of things, how to handle data, how to handle particular kinds of data. Our students will be trained in that aspect because confidentiality is very important. All the students would have also signed confidentiality clauses to say that they will protect the information, any information that they collect. Again and again, we always will stress in the field that persons have the right not to answer, right? So it's not mandatory, but again, confidentiality is key. The mayors will stress that, and they are being trained, advised how that is done, and they will all sign saying we will protect, or we will ensure all data collected by myself is confidential.
The initiative will target households across the country over the next 2 weeks.
There are 30 teams, right? And each team has a supervisor. This is a Barbados Defense Force personnel, and also their team members, which are students. So they will be going from electoral district, so from polling district to polling district over the next 11 days. Each day they will be situated in a particular polling district and collecting that data from a particular polling district each day, right? Some days they'll do more than one polling district. It depends on how quickly they move, but the idea is to touch every household in Barbados.
On day one of the national pause, police are reporting a quiet day. According to Police Public Relations Officer, Acting Inspector Rodney Innes, there were no reported incidents. During the period from February 3 to 17, only businesses deemed to be essential will be allowed to open. A dusk to dawn curfew is also in effect, and Barbadians are being asked to stay at home. Innes urged citizens to continue to adhere to the stipulations of the 2-week lockdown and to follow the COVID-19 protocols. 4 employees at the Barbados Port Inc. have tested positive for COVID-19. In a statement, the BPI, however, assured that this would not affect operations during the current shutdown. Management said contact tracing is underway to identify primary contacts of these individuals. These contacts will be required to present to health authorities for testing. The port added that it has also taken immediate steps to close and sanitize the areas where these individuals were assigned and will continue rigorous daily cleaning and sanitization in accordance with recommended guidelines. In today's COVID-19 update, Barbados recorded 25 new cases of the virus, 9 males and 16 females, following 504 tests conducted on Tuesday. 7 of the new positives were persons previously sent to the Harrison Point Isolation Facility for assessment. The other 18 cases include 15 Barbadians and 2 non-nationals. Meanwhile, 9 persons have been sent to the Harrison Point Isolation Facility for assessment. The number of confirmed cases at Her Majesty's Prison Dodds remain at 362. Of this total, 355 have recovered, and the remaining 7 inmates are included in the total of active cases, which to date stand at 359. Additionally, 32 persons have been discharged from isolation after recovering from the viral illness. The number of recoveries now stand at 1,238, while deaths remain at 14. The lab has conducted 104,838,000 tests since February 2020.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news, the Independent Commission of Investigations in Jamaica is reporting a 34% increase in the number of people shot and killed by security forces. Most of the killings were done by the Jamaica Constabulary Force while on operation. Television Jamaica's Prince Moore has the story.
Data revealed by Indicom show fatal shootings by the security forces continue to be an issue. In its fourth quarter report tabled in Parliament on Tuesday, the investigative body noted that 115 people were killed in 2020 by members of the security forces compared to 86 that were killed in 2019. That's an increase of 29. Of the 115 fatal shootings by the security forces, 102 were done by the police, including 15 by off-duty officers. The other 13 were caused by the JDF and members of the Department of Correctional Services. Meanwhile, Indicom continues to raise questions about the deadly use of force by members of the security forces and multiple fatalities in a single shooting incident. Of the 126 people who were shot and killed in multiple death encounters over the 4-year period 2017 to 2020, only 81 firearms were recovered from the deceased. However, the absence of firearms among the other 45 killed raises questions. It's why the investigative body is calling for more effective control and discipline in the use of deadly force. In the meantime, Indicom is again urging the security forces to introduce and implement body-worn cameras to frontline police officers. It says such a move would provide further internal and external oversight and monitoring mechanisms, which would enable greater public accountability and community trust and support of police actions.
On the international scene, the UK is past the peak of the current wave of the pandemic, but infection rates are still high. England's Chief Medical Officer, Professor Chris Whitty, said the number of cases, hospitalizations and deaths were on a downward slope, but that did not mean there would be another peak. He said vaccinations are a key plank in the government's fight.
Vaccines are going to protect in 3 different ways. The first of which is they will protect you, the person who's being vaccinated, and they will protect to a very good degree based on the data we have so far. Of course, we need to get more data in real life. That's what the last question was about. But we are confident it will protect you as an individual. Secondly, as you say, it'll mean that people will be able to know that many of the people they interact with have also been vaccinated, and that will also reduce the risk, although we don't yet know with confidence quite how much these vaccines reduce the risk of transmission. So they do reduce the risk of severe disease, of symptomatic disease, and of dying. They probably reduce the risk of transmission, and data came out today to support that, but we're not absolutely confident about exactly how much. And then the third way they reduce the risk is to reduce the amount of the virus that is circulating in the whole population. And that we are nowhere near being close to. And I think if you think of those numbers right at the beginning, and think back to the last published ONS data that implied somewhere like 1 in 55 people currently have the virus. The rate of virus in the community is incredibly high. So that third thing we also need to do, which is use the vaccine plus the social distancing that everyone is doing to pull the rates of the virus right down.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.